the chair, get your cup, go on your morning commute. This is Improv-A-Tea. Josh.
Hello.
You don't like that?
No, that's fine. I didn't know that's where that was going. You had that set
I'm
up
trying.
Awesome.
I thought it sounded okay.
It does.
But you have to tell them my name now, because I told them your name.
Oh, okay. So that's how we're going to do that. Tammy.
Yeah, me.
So that's how we're going to do that.
Yeah,
now, see, things like that would have been
do you want
a heads
to
up.
do it again?
No, that's fine. They can see how we roll. Because next time, it'd be great. We'll do it.
It's a learning curve. Today, I thought we would talk about just give them some clarity on what this Improv-A-Tea is going to be about and what we're going to do for the majority of our podcast, video, blog?
Yes.
Episodes. They're episodes.
Things like this. First, it's going to be a learning what we're doing.
Thank you for letting us use you like this. That's terrible.
It is terrible. Like we're already starting with this. I like it. Keep going.
Yeah. You think they'll like it?
Oh.
You're along for the ride now.
Oh, so is this called Innuendo? The podcast? Is that what this is? Okay.
No, it's called Improv-A-Tea.
Okay. Improv-A-Tea. That's what it is.
Improv-A-Tea.
Improv-A-Tea.
Tea. Just
tea.
Improv
with a T. Yeah, I get you.
So
I read that somewhere today.
Right. I thought we would give you some clarification on what we're doing here. It has been 10 years since I first started in the Red Fair world learning all of this stuff. and for me to take all that I've learned and relay it in this format is about the hardest thing that I've ever done.
Really?
I don't have a framework small enough to make it make sense, what I'm going to tell you. There's a lot, is what I'm trying to say. There's just a lot. And
this is a good setup to explain. Like, if someone were to ask you what this was, you can't just say it in a sentence. We have this whole format to explain it and build on it, because it's not a simple answer.
Yes,
okay.
It's not simple. It's not easy. It's huge. It's a big picture sort of thing. So
what's the question we're saying here? Like, what is it that we do as a group, or what?
What is it we are going to do as a group from here on out?
Okay.
The things that we've learned. So I think, like, between the 10 of us, we have somewhere around 30 or 40 years of experience. I sat here and...
Oh, you have to add that up together?
Yeah.
So it becomes...
It sounds impressive that way.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
It doesn't work that way, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it does kind of work that way. But, so, saying us, being a group, do you want to explain, this is always someone's first meeting of us. Who is us?
Who is us? Us is the Gaelic Gambol, and we are transitioning from a cast at a Renaissance Fair to a traveling troupe and a workshop giving entity. I don't even know what
it's a hard
term.
It's a hard thing to explain, and that's why I guess you need a setup like this to do so. So yeah, we are a troupe, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some workshops. Hopefully, you guys will see the usefulness of what we have learned in this sort of setup, and ask us to come out and do some teaching workshops for you and help you do that thing that we do in your daily living.
Which is improv in life.
Right.
Using improv in everyday settings.
Yes. I'm going to take 10 years and distill it into an episode.
Oh,
every episode.
Okay. That's fair enough.
That's a lot.
So that is a lot.
So there will be a lot.
We only
of
have
episodes.
so long.
Right. About 2 years ago, I first pitched the idea through social media on what is it that you think soft skills are, because that's really what we're talking about when we talk about everything that we learn and we teach and we train through the fair side, through acting, the improv skills. They're soft skills. They're people skills. So I asked through social media 2 years ago, what is your perception of what soft skills are? And what do you think people would say to that?
What soft skills are? Because, I mean, that, as a term, you telling me that right there, I'm kind of, I don't hear that a lot myself, soft skills. But basically, what you're saying is what we learn in rehearsals and training for the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
How is that used in just everyday life? And it's a big thing because we do a lot of different things, but it is all helpful with just one-on-one conversations with.
So communication.
Basically, it is a lot of communication and doing it different ways because not everyone communicates the same,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a bit to reach a person. It takes a bit to meet them on that level.
Yeah. Meet them where they're at. So when I asked through social media what people thought were soft skills, I got answers like basic things that you do for yourself, and you don't need a master crafter to do, which is a different sort of take on it. I would not have thought of that as a definition for soft skills. One lady came on and said she thought when she thinks of soft skills, she thinks of the divine feminine. And for her, the divine feminine is aspects of wisdom and clarity and inspiration. So we got yet another sort of idea of what soft skills
It's
are.
a lot of concept-driven things. Like a skill, I guess you would say, is knowing how to build a table or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a hard skill, just a flat-out black and white thought process, and soft skills being more? Is that what we're getting at? Soft skills are more of a bigger concept than that.
I think it's what I saw in their responses was it was different for everybody. Some people thought that soft skills, as opposed to hard skills was building the table. Soft skills was more along the lines of thinking, people are this tall. They need to know how tall these people are so that they know how tall to make a table. Translating from the people part into the building of the piece.
Okay.
And that's knowledge that you don't really need in order to build the table, but to build a table that's effective for the population, for the person who's sitting there.
So it seems like a lot of knowledge of, if you have this knowledge, it will be useful. Maybe not right now, but it's one of those things where I know that.
Right.
I've learned this somewhere else before, and I can use that in this situation.
Something that's in your toolbox that you don't necessarily know that you know. You're not trained.
See, I don't know that I know a lot of things.
But you do. Yeah, right?
Well, that's what I tell people, yes.
Oh, yeah, well.
And then I just fake it until.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I learned that from you or no. I don't think I learned that from Fair. I think I've always been like that.
Yeah. That's a Josh
But it's a good
quality.
tool.
It is a good tool.
I'm a good tool. No,
Mm-mm.
no, it's not.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not what.
Some people said that soft skills were being able to listen to and follow directions. Okay. Some people thought that it was being friendly, being personable, interpersonal relations, skills that make you better at your job. Like you can have a really good doctor, but if he has a crap bedside manner, you don't want to have anything to do with that doctor.
Okay, so skills aside from the main, so like if you have a job, you have, and like if you were applying for a job, you have like, this job does this, this, and this, and I understand how to do A, B, and C, but in between there's using these things to communicate that to other people. There's different things within the flat out black and white skills.
Right. It's not you can go to get a degree in something, but you're not going to be taught these things. You're going to have to pick these things up.
It seems like the skills of, like, I went to school, I know how to do this. I got out of school and this is my job that I'm going to do, but I really don't know anything about it until I get there and learn actually how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the basically what you learn along the way.
What you learn along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's the equivalent of, because I recently got a new job, it's like, this is how this is done. This is how I do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get told that all the time. I know we're supposed to do that, but this is how I do it because of this. Okay, I get you. There's an easier way to do it.
So maybe that's another way to look at it.
Thing
Either
in certain aspects, because there's certain things that have to be done a certain way, but
well, sure, but you could have a robot do your job, or you can have a person do your job. And if you have a person doing the job, that's that soft skill sort of coming through. It's how you deal with people. It's how you are different.
yes.
In presenting your tool.
Yeah, because I've never heard the term soft. I mean, I'm sure I've heard it, but I've never discussed the term.
Funnily
soft
enough,
skill.
you had an answer when I asked that, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what is this? It's like, man, it sounds like it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is my answer on here?
No, I didn't write your answer
It wasn't like
down.
the online. Okay.
It was on. Yeah.
I had an answer on there.
You did.
I probably did, but
You did. You talked about being a pharmacy tech and the difference between talking to people at the window or whatever, or on the phone, and just sitting there and counting out the pills and stuff.
Okay, I think I just said that.
The skills.
That's weird.
So, yeah.
How I got to the same place. It's like my brain works the same way.
Go figure.
Huh. That guy sounds smart.
You do. So.
Positive reinforcement too, because see, I'm not used to that. I have a group of friends where we support each other in different ways. Sometimes it's just being mean to each other, but
That's not very nice.
no, but it's funny sometimes.
But it's funny sometimes.
It is, but no, sometimes it gets tedious and not nice. So.
Not nice.
But in a situation of trying to help others out, I guess soft skills being just like that, and I guess what you're getting at is how we use soft skills in everything, basically.
Do you think, Josh has not been at this as long as I have, do you think that coming into FAIR helped you, getting that training helped you do your job better? Or maybe not better, but differently?
Yes.
It's okay to say no.
And it's like a thing. Well, at my job, I did my job. I mean, so I've been doing what I do for at least 13, 14 years, right? So I've learned how to do my job well. But there's useful things that maybe I was already doing, but when I came to FAIR, when you taught me that, and it's like, I didn't know I had been doing this. It's like I identified what I was doing, and then once I knew I was doing it, yes, I used it.
Yeah.
But I knew I was doing it. I was cognizant of these soft skills. Like, I had them. And possibly that's also, when I came to FAIR, that's what made me like FAIR and, I guess, be good at FAIR, because it was, when I first saw it as customer service, because that's what I knew it as.
Yeah.
Was customer service. And I mean, it kind of is, but it is just the interaction to a patron.
Right. Yeah.
And one played into the other, and they kind of both built on each other, I guess.
So having a previous experience and then coming to FAIR
yes.
helped you be able to identify the tools that you were reinforcing
Yes.
through the training.
And it's like, it's a type of thing that when I worked with other people, I could see that they didn't do the same thing. I mean, everyone learns their job a different way. And let's say I have the same job as someone else, and it's like, I see how they do it, but the way they approach it, I guess that is the soft skills. It's like so it's a pharmacy technician is what I do. They put pills in a bottle, but like, they're so slow because they do this and they don't, do the 3 different things that can make it easier for them. And, it's just things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And how they approach people, because a lot of people sometimes in pharmacy, customer-wise, can be angry about something going wrong, and fairly so. It's how you handle that. It's like, some people just and I guess not just my job, but any customer service, some people just take customers being angry at them like as a fight. Like someone comes at you angry and you want to go right back at them, and it's like, that does not work.
Right.
And that's something I learned like beforehand, just handling people basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got better as I was basically taught how to do it.
Practice?
Within the fair, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was not just that, it was like on a personal level.
Being able to practice something in a non-threatening atmosphere.
Yes.
That you were used to doing.
Yes. Because
your
when
business.
you do it at business, I mean, it's like you have to do this. So the way I did it, I figured out a way to survive, and in my job wise, I figured out a way to do it at work because I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, and then when I'm at the fair, it's like, oh, I can use this. And there was no pressure on it. It was
Right.
like it was a free learning environment, and that's a lot of what. It was very odd when I first joined the group, the Gambol, at the first rehearsals, because I did not know what I was getting into, and like I did not know I would come away like being 3 years later doing a podcast with you, things like this. It's like I didn't expect any of what I got there, like to be in a group and to be able to. And what I was about to say earlier was like not even a job level, a personal level. I don't know, I've learned how to be more personable than when I went in. I'm 37 years old, and I just didn't get that experience with people, not even from work. Work was just a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to do it. It's like a response. And it was better that I did it at work that way. So that's the way I did it. But now it's like I learned how to do it with these skills, like with these people skills, and now I'm doing better with it, and now I can choose to do it.
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot of, I interact with people at work, I go home, that's it.
And kind of you know where you're going
Mm-hmm.
Within an interaction with people because you've had the experience at fair.
Yes.
I know what to expect as the reaction because I've done it enough in this less threatening environment.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's come back to that at the end.
Okay.
You asked, when I started doing this, formulating this idea to do workshops and to do the podcast and everything, I went out and I was just following one rabbit trail right after the other on the internet for everything that had improv uses. And there are a lot of business, there are a lot of companies, businesses, that sort of thing out there that use improv skills.
Yes.
I see, like in computer technology, they have what they call, if I'm getting it right, and Sam will back me up, agile development. Yeah, he's shaking his head, yeah. And agile development is this ability to figure out how the technology is going to respond to the people. Yeah, or how you want to work the technology. I'm unsure because I'm not a tech
What
person.
you want it to do, basically.
Yeah.
And then how you can use the way it is.
And turning on a dime.
Okay.
Within the processing and stuff. The medical professions are using improvisation. They use it with dementia patients. They use it with addiction patients.
When you say that, isn't that a weird thing to say, that the medical profession is using improvising things? When it's a medical...
Maybe it's a little scary.
Well, I mean, the way you're saying it, if you were just flat out say that sounds weird. Like, why aren't they doing it like the way, it's supposed to be? Why are they making it up?
Right,
so it's certain things that those protocols in medicine don't really work with, and you need to have a more of a, I guess where it's where you get soft skills is it can't be that rigid. It has to be like, what were you saying? You were listing the stuff off that they use it for. You said,
dementia patients.
okay, I see where you were going with that. It
is the soft skill. It's not the hard part of medicine. It's not the things that doctors are taught how to physically treat a patient. It's it's the supporting stuff. Dementia patients, you look at a dementia patient and they don't know yesterday.
Or trauma patients, I would say too.
You have to be able to work with what they're giving you. You have to meet them where they're at, and that's that ability to use improv to meet them where they are and to calm them down, because everything in health is going to be easier to deal with a person who's responding.
Right.
I would think. There's in New York City, there's their police force uses improv to kind of have these conversations with the public on how they're seen in the communities and how they can respond better to their constituents. So that's yet another thing.
It's a large
It's huge.
thing right now of how police are seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're saying like these companies and they're using it, are they actually using it? Okay, when I say that is, I see sometimes when there are these like training exercises that they do, and it's like trust falls and things like that. Then you go in and they touch on it. It's like the very tip of it, and they say that these will be useful. And that's kind of all they give you.
What I see.
That's what companies that I see that like they say that this is useful, and they'll give you the bare minimum. But the way we do it at Fair is like very much deeper into.
Well, what we did at Fair was intense.
Yeah.
6 weekends of training for 5 seconds.
I thought you were saying intense because you got to camp out something.
No.
Oh, okay. No.
What I saw,
I thought it was fun.
it was. I laughed. I snickered.
Yeah.
Probably didn't come across on the microphone.
No, probably not.
Learning curve. What I saw on the New York City police officers, they were actually on a stage with people who they would have to live in community with, and they would act out these scenarios so that they got a better understanding of how each side would respond, which is a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And not something that you can script out. They know what's going to happen, what the set of responses could look like. But it's not a script. But it still gives them the opportunity to work through these things and see how to make their community better.
And I would think that would be a job that would kind of need that, because
absolutely,
if you're responding to something that could be very dangerous, and it's just you've never actually been in any type of situation like that before.
Yeah.
That's when you're on edge and
Right.
yeah, and doing things like that would very much. But then again, that's resources for them, I guess, too. So
Yeah. Yeah. This was that kind of concept was is relatively new. The whole applied improv is what we're talking about here. Applied improvisation in the workplaces, in businesses, in the community. It's a new thing. It's so new that we don't have any training for it.
It's such a new thing. Also, it's not a thing you can just say applied improv and people know what that is.
Right. We don't have a college curriculum that we can go and get a bachelor's degree in for this.
So see, you're like a trailblazer.
You're a trailblazer too.
Oh, am I doing this too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is how new this is. These New York City police, the efforts that they're going through here with the improv in their communities is kind of based on the works of Auguste Gambol. And he was doing his stuff in like 1970, the early 70s, in I think Argentina, places like that. So these communities that had a whole lot of strife and a whole lot of civic problems and unrest going on, and he was going in and he was building these communities up a little bit, empowering them tools to express the problems that they were having and to find solutions to them and everything. 1970. And here we are at 2018, so that's...
It takes time for, I guess, I don't know if it's public opinion or what it is that to get into actual... Did you not say, you said to me things before where it takes people maybe like 2 or 3 times of hearing something before they register it?
Yeah. About 3 times. You repeat something 3 times in 3 different ways that people are more likely to
so basically
absorb it.
Take this times 1 million people and then
yeah.
That's how long it takes to get into like the lexicon of society, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and to grow.
Right.
So, yeah, this is my lifetime we're talking about here. These things have started happening. And we're just now seeing in the past, when I started at Ren Fair 10 years ago, I didn't know that improvisation was anything different than, Drew Carey's show on the television. That's all that I knew improv as. But now I
like
have...
whose line is it anyways?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now...
Sorry, there were different Drew Carey shows and I was on the wrong one there. And I was like, what's a scripted show?
Well,
improv. Okay, you're talking about the games and the...
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what a lot of people think when you say improv.
Right. And now I think I'm hoping to enlarge that conversation, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. Right now, though, I want to take just a minute to thank just a minute. We're gonna take a break for a second in the conversation and come back to it. I have my notes here. It'll bring us back. But I want to thank my daughter, Perrin, because she's the one that gave me the idea for this initial podcast to be like an explanatory thing for you guys. And when she told me, I was like, oh, that's super scary. I can't do that. But apparently we can. So thanks to Perrin for that. And I want to plug now. We are about to start a Patreon page, which is what this podcast is going to do. This is
This is like our initial introduction to this. This is planning to be like, is this like one that everyone is always going to be able to see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is...
So we are hoping to get your all's support, both as a community for what we're doing, and if you can help out with a subscription to what we're doing. This is what you're buying. This is part of what you're buying, this podcast. our 10 years and more distilled down into podcast form. So there's that. And that will be going live pretty soon, like within the month. It's difficult and hard. That's another scary thing, figuring out Patreon.
Yeah.
And
well, we can do it because we're used to it with all this improv type stuff. Right. Yeah.
Right?
It seems scary, but it's just like, we can do it. We've done it before, right? Sure.
We can do it.
Yeah. We are doing it. We're actually physically doing it right now. That's what this is.
Under the table. We're doing that. No.
So.
And one more thing. Our next appearance, the Gaelic Gambol's next appearance, will be at the Central Missouri Renaissance Fair on October 20th. It's a Saturday. It's in Central Missouri, obviously. It is their Brigands and Buccaneers weekend. So we're going to be manning their maypole there for the first time. They're putting ribbons on for us and everything. And if you need your maypole fixed, come on out and join us there.
And as far as the rents. And so also, if this is your first time seeing anything, all that information is good information just until we do it. Then after that,
right,
it won't mean anything to you.
Nothing
but then we might be doing something awesome then, so check. I'm sure we'll be doing,
Might be.
Yeah, see, I heard myself there, and I was like, I pulled that back. It's like, no, we're definitely going to be doing that.
We are definitely going to be doing that. Yeah.
Also, I knew she was going to get after me if I left it there, so I pulled that back.
Did we hit everything?
I don't know. You got the cards. I was following you.
I think we did.
I was responding to your.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Oh, cool.
You're responding.
Because I can definitely do that. See, you're not saying anything now, and I didn't respond. So
I've got a whole bunch of things that I'm trying to do. This is
learning curve.
Learning curve.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch the time and drink my tea too, and
you're wearing a lot of hats and some headphones.
And headphones.
Yeah.
Monitors. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. Sam's over here shaking his head. He's disappointed in us.
I don't know what this us is. You forget. This is where my father used to say, "What do you mean we? You got a mouse in your pocket, boy?"
He's disappointed in me.
The term monitors, I think he's disappointed in. But you've been. Wow. It's like you learned that term like weeks ago, and you keep on driving it in there until you got it.
Monitors? Yeah.
I mean,
isn't that what they are? You told me that's what they are.
He's shaking his head no again.
Headphones.
This is why we have a tech guy.
Right.
It's not her.
It's not me. I'm just here to look pretty, Josh. I'm just here to look pretty.
Fair enough.
All right.
You already had me. I don't know why, but
you said that was my job.
It is your job. I'm here to respond.
So, what are we here for?
To respond.
Why a podcast? Why are we doing this? I want to enlarge the conversation.
Okay.
I want folks outside of the Ren Fair communities to see all the great stuff that we're used to doing. We're used to going in this safe space and making it safe for other people to come in and do. I want them to see that. I want folks where you work, where you shop, where you go to school, your civic, your community organizations. I want those people to have the same sort of sense of safety in numbers, basically, that we get at the fair through Improv.
So I got you. So we were talking about how it's used, and now it's how we can give that to you, how we can use that. And it's, like it's saying, it's soft skills, it's different for everyone. So basically, if you don't know what we can do for you, I'm sure it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I do this is what I do in my job. Well, this is how I can see that this would help you. Maybe you don't even know that it can help you, and it can.
Yeah.
And it's such a hard thing to
The more that we talk about it,
the easier it is out there.
Yes. I think that's the case.
Yes.
And I think that by doing these podcasts, that's going to help you guys see what it is that you need from us.
I hear that now. I didn't.
Yeah. We're getting it.
Yeah.
We're getting there. I want to.
I was like, what are we doing again? Okay, sure, podcast.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing.
He's just along for the ride, people.
I'm supposed to respond.
Yeah. You're doing a good job,
Thank
too.
you. Yeah.
Well done. I want to empower individuals. I want to remind them that they come to these situations with a tool kit already. Things that they've learned and they didn't learn in school, or if they learned them in school, they didn't learn them because they had a teacher.
That's fair. I'm going to say that's fair enough because that's just what I said. But I did these things and I didn't know.
Right.
But once you're taught what you're doing and how you can use it, it does it amps you a little bit. And
absolutely.
Skill. So
if you're used to going into your schools, your classrooms, your businesses, your workplace, you're used to doing that. If you are now told, hey, these are the skills that you already bring to the table, and you can use them for a better community, a better relation with the people around you. I want to empower you to do that. I want to help you do that. Imagine that you're capable of doing these things. And in the process, we're going to become like a conduit, of information from the Ren Fair community.
Right. As we start to go out into other communities from our home fair in Kentucky here, we're going to other communities and we'll be, I guess, relaying what we're doing as Patreon goes on, as podcasts go on, that, hey, this is where we're at now and this is what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
And just in the generalness of it all.
Yeah.
Which you have, I don't know if you were at that point, you have a Facebook page, we have a Gaelic Gambol page, and we have an Improvise Life page.
Right. We have Gaelic Gambol will be just the
Gambol appearances, the group.
The things that we do in garb or in when we're dancing. Those the things that we're doing as a group, like Josh said. Improvise Life on Facebook is the quick and dirty sort of posting for just to encourage you along your way in your daily life. But there's also an Improvise Life blog, which will be more in depth and written and that sort of thing. It'll be more of this sort of stuff in written form. That's the community aspect. That and the Patreon page will be the community aspect of what we're doing, how we can pull you in and you can support us and that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because that was last on my list.
Was that next on your list, or did I jump some?
No.
Okay.
It was next and last.
That's why I said it. And a lot of things when we were saying, like, there's a website or a Facebook page that's usually kind of the last step of, okay, here's where you can find us and things like that.
Right.
But yeah. And I just wanted to point, why I brought that up was because it seems like two different entities. There's like the Improvise Life, and like I've always thought this too, and then there's the Gambol, which that's what we do as the group, as the Gambol, but that Improvise Life thing is the all-encompassing what we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
And now that we've talked to you about it and got to that point without, that's the hard thing, just to see these two names and be like, what's this and what's this? Well, go watch this podcast.
Yeah. You belong on both pages. You want to click like on both of those pages. You want to go on to the Improvise Life Facebook page, and you want to do the talking there. You want to tell us how your day's going. You want to tell us, ask us all the questions you can. That's where that has to happen, because I can't hear you here. I have these headphones on.
It almost monitors what you said.
Right
there, almost.
But I can read your questions, and you'll get those answers back here on the page too.
Right. You can actually answer questions when they
Right. It's like this whole community
and
driven thing.
And I won't even have to be here to respond. She'll have something. She'll respond to you.
I need you, Josh. You have to be.
That's fine.
So to sum up, the things that we learn at the Ren fairs, the things that we are used to doing all the time, these are things that are desperately needed in the world today. You look around and you see a lot of anger, you see a lot of angst in your workplace, in your schools, in your, hopefully not your families, but these are all skills that we need, and we need to grow them, and we need to expand them beyond the boundaries of the Renaissance Fair.
And I assume in further podcasts we'll talk more actually about that, because I mean, this was a general, this is what it is, this is what we're going to be talking about, and I guess I assume what we're planning to do is like there will be a subject of this. This is something we use this on, and what we're talking about, this skill and this subset today.
Yes.
And it will be a
let's see, what am I talking about next?
Like, I'm sure
coming up next.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve, folks. It's a learning curve.
I don't know if it's a learning curve, but we're kind of getting there when we should be. So it's almost like we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
We do.
Yeah.
Coming up next on Improv-A-Tea.
Improv-A-Tea.
I did the thing.
You did.
We're going to be talking about the fourth wall and the opposite of the fourth wall.
The second wall? Is it 4?
I don't know. They'll just have to tune in and find out.
I want to know.
Right?
So is this 1, 2, or is that 1, 2?
I'm just sitting and drink your tea.
Stage left and right. I don't know how that works.
Bye.
Bye.